Hi everyone, so today I'm teaching you how to make these yarn flowers with pipe cleaners for the stems. You're going to need yarn, obviously, scissors, 2 pipe cleaners. Now, 2 pipe cleaners makes the short stem like this. If you want to make a longer stem, like extend it and stuff, you'd need more, but you only need 2 to make this little short stem one. And you need something to wrap it around. I found a flattened toilet paper tube, works nicely, and I cut this little slit in it. Focus. To hook the first piece of yarn in, so that when you're wrapping it around, it's easier so it stays in place. If you'll notice, these two that I made are slightly different. Take a look at this one. Now one at this one. This one I only wrapped it around the toilet paper tube 15 times. This thinner one right here. Now this one, I wrapped it around 25 times. Just because I made them first, and it wasn't quite thick enough for me, so I made another one. And you can decide which one you want to make. You can make it thicker than this one, thinner. I would make it much thinner than this one, though. You can make it thinner. You can make it like 20. You could do 30. Just remember, the more thicker you make it, the thicker your little bottom part down here is going to get. This little piece right here. Focus camera. This part will get thicker this way, the more yarn you put in it, because you have it around the yarn base. So that's just something to keep in mind. How many times you wrap it? Remember, this one's 15, this one's 25. I'm going to make another one that's 25 because I liked it better than my 15. If you want a little more skinnier flower, go right ahead and make this one. It's the same steps, you just wrap it less. So you're going to need your yarn. Got to find the end of my yarn. Here it is. Take your thing. And for me, I find this little slit I made. Wait, oh, there. And I hook the end of my yarn through the little slit, like that. Now, I take my yarn, and I start wrapping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You don't want this little end to get stuck in there, because you want to remember which side it's on. You stop on this side too, because you're going to only cut one side of this. 11, I think that's the right number. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Now you want to wrap it mostly all in one place. You don't want to spread it out too much, because this way it makes it easier to put the pipe cleaner through for the stem. 16, I think. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Right there. Now, I'm going to cut the yarn. See how this is the side with the little extra piece? This is the side I'm going to cut the yarn. I'm going to cut it a little extra long just because I'd rather have too much yarn than not enough. Now, that little extra yarn, I'm going to wrap it up real quick. And now you're done with your yarn. So now you have this. You can take this extra end, take it up, and tuck it in your little slit if you made one. Which is what I'm going to do. Now you take your first pipe cleaner, because you're supposed to have 2. So take one of them, find both ends, match them up, and fold it in half. Just like this. Like that. See how it's in half? Now take this, and this. Now mine happens to have already a little gap right there. So you slide your pipe cleaner through all your yarn. It's like if you were tying a pom-pom, but it's a pipe cleaner, because I make the stem. You try to get it fairly centered, and then pull it down to the bottom here. Pull it down as far as you can get it to go. And then, try to make sure the ends are fairly even. It doesn't have to be perfect, you can always cut it off, or you can bend it a little bit. Fairly even, like that. And then, start twisting. The first one you want to make sure is really tight. Try to bring all this yarn as close together and smushed up as you can. And then just twist it. Twist the first few really, make sure they're really tight around that. But then the rest of it you can twist a little looser, just make it look a little nicer. However, you can twist it however you like for the rest of it. I like twisting a little looser. I think it just looks a little fluffier and nicer that way. But do whatever you want. But the first ones you want to tie as tight as you can, trying to get that to stay like that. And then just keep going all the way down until you get to the end. And then I like to fold the ends over a little bit so that they don't poke people as much. Pipe cleaners can be pointy. So this is what it should look like now. Okay? So now, you want to unhook these little yarn bits from your little slit, unless you don't have one. And then pull this off of wherever you wrapped it around. In my case, or the paper tube. If you notice, it does not look like this yet. Now you could cut all these, but I found it makes it much easier if you do the next step first. Because I did this, the way I'm going to show you, I did it on the smaller one, which I did first. And I did it where I cut them. Then I wrapped it on this one. And that's a lot more difficult to wrap this little part around here than if you just leave it in loops and then cut it. So don't cut these yet. These ones are going to be near way a little bit, but there's only 2 of them that way at least. You're going to pull it down like this. Take your other pipe cleaner. Start by just wrapping it around the stem once. As tight as you can get it. Once or twice, depending on how many times you need to get it to stay. There. And now, just start wrapping it in a circle. But don't let it go over top of itself. Make it like a sort of like a coil, like a spiral, where it kind of gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Kind of like that. And you want to go around the yarn. So you want it to become like a little, you want it to become like this. Where it's like the little bottom part of the flower. Because that makes it more like a flower. Otherwise it's just a bunch of floppy yarn. It also makes it poof out more and less bleh. So I just wrap it around. It's hard to show you. I hope you can see it. And you kind of want to see any yarn through the pipe cleaner, because that would not look nice. Oops, sorry, I hit the camera. And try to keep these little bits pulled up with putz as much as you can. And we don't want to make this too loose either. We want to make it fairly tight so it stays. I think mine's pretty good. I'm going to go one more time around just because. And then when you get to wherever you want, cut it off. Leave a little tiny bit extra. Now you're done with pipe cleaners. You don't need this chunk. You can use something else. Take this little tiny bit extra. You can just wrap it if you want, but I like to fold it in half, fold it up a little bit, and then stick it in, because then it's not as sharp. Now, notice it still doesn't look like a flower. But that's what your little base thing should look like. And now, the next step is to take all these loops, pretend you're making a pom-pom, and just cut them all. Just cut them all like that. And give it a little shake. And you'll notice they're still kind of long. They're still kind of floppy. If you want it to be more perky like this one, you're going to have to take all your yarn bits, get them all gathered up, and then give it a nice little chunk cut off. Just cut a whole bunch off. It's hard to make sure you're on camera, so I'm just going to do it off camera real quick. So here. Just cutting a whole big chunk off. You also want to make sure you trim it down, because those 2 you ended and started with might be longer than the rest. Now clean up your mess if you made one like I did. Put it aside. And now it should be a little shorter. Like that. And now kind of just smush it like this, so that it kind of, give it, you can shake it too if you want. There. And now you made a little yarn flower. You can give these to people as presents, or just make a bouquet of a whole bunch of different colors and put them in a vase and set them in your window or in your room or something, and they'll be pretty. I made red just because it's called yarn I'm using. If you like yarn DIYs, give this a thumbs up. Comment down below. Do you think I should make a yarn playlist? Because I have an unboxing review one. I have a rainbow one. I have a DIY craft one, which where mostly everything goes, which these will go in that. But I have quite a few yarn crafts. Should I make a yarn playlist? Would you like that? Give it a thumbs up if you'd like that. And subscribe. Bye!